Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Well, today I'm not looking at a new camera or a new lens or microphone. I'm taking another look at the Nikon Z6, and the reason why I am is because Nikon have just released the Nikon ZF, and a few people have asked me would I be investing in the new Nikon ZF, and the likelihood is not. Two reasons. Firstly, I love the handling of the Z6. In fact, it's my favourite camera of all time. I love the Nikon ergonomics, particularly with the Z series of cameras, even right down to the Z50 and the Z30, which are both APS-C cameras. This was their first inroad into mirrorless cameras. Well, it wasn't really. The 1-inch cameras was their first, but this was their first serious attempt at mirrorless cameras, and I think it's a brilliant attempt. I think it's a brilliant camera. I've taken some of my favourite photographs with the Nikon Z6. It's a 24 megapixel sensor, full frame 24 megapixel sensor, in body image stabilization. I think that is great. When I went to London, I took some lovely photographs using slower shutter speeds to create that motion effect, certainly on the underground. I just love the ergonomics, and as I just said, it's my favourite camera as far as ergonomics are concerned. Really, really good. Button placement is great. It's got 2 function buttons around the throat of the lens here. You've got function buttons pretty much everywhere. You've got 2 function buttons on the top there. So handling is fantastic. Now, it hasn't got a touch screen as far as setting your focus points, but I've found a lovely workaround with that. What I've done, I've mapped this top function button around the throat of the lens here to bring up the focus tracking. You might be able to see that there. That brings up the focus tracking, and then I just use the joystick to move the focus point to where I want it. So that turns it on, and I can use the joystick to move my focus point to where I want it. It's got face detect, it's got animal detect, and I find it works really, really reliably. It's not the fastest. It's not going to be the same as the Z8 and the Z9, but I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as the likes of Jared Polin would lead you to believe. It's actually a pretty decent autofocus system on here, and I've found when I'm in the studio here and I'm doing like presentation to camera, the autofocus works lovely. And I say I think the sensor is great. At the moment, I've got the 28mm lens fitted to it. Probably one of my favourite lenses to use. A, it's really high quality, but B, it's nice vintage looking. I've got the SE version, so it's a vintage looking 28mm lens. That's really, really handy. And you can use the FTZ adapter to use your traditional or your older Nikon F-mount lenses. I've got fitted to my adapter at the moment 50mm. Now this nifty 50 was 110 quid. I got it off of from Wex Photographic, 110 quid. And it's a really, really good quality 50mm lens. Autofocus, manual focus, no image stabilization in the lens, but you've got image stabilization in the body of the camera, so you don't really need to worry too much about the fact that it's not in the lens. But I found the AF works beautifully with this lens, and as I have found with other lenses I've used with the FTZ adapter. So, you know, if you want to get into the Nikon Z mount system and you've got a whole bunch of Nikon F mount lenses, then you can use them, and you can use them very successfully. So you don't need to initially worry about investing in the Z mount lenses. Although obviously long term, if you're going to stick with the Nikon Z mount system, you are better off investing in the Z mount lenses, but you can do that further down the line. I love the fact that it's got your tilting screen, tilty-wilty screen. I think that is really good. It isn't a fully articulating screen, but again, for me, when I'm taking photographs, I actually prefer this design. I genuinely do prefer this design. I find it more discreet, but the monitor is behind the camera as opposed to being away from the camera. I like it being away from the camera when you're actually in the studio here filming. When I'm filming myself, yeah, I think it's great for that. But for just doing your standard sort of photography, I love the fact that it's a tilting screen. it shoots 4K video and it is oversampled, so you get a really crisp 4K image from a 6K sampled sensor. So no problem there at all as far as sharpness is concerned. Internally, it's a 4208-bit recording, but you can output 10-bit 422 via the HDMI socket, and I think that is a brilliant feature. It does take you one card slot. Some people might find that annoying. It takes XQD cards or CFast cards. I've got a CFast card, Panasonic CFast card in there at the moment. Yeah, only your one card slot. So if you're a professional photographer, videographer, you might find that disconcerting, particularly if you shoot weddings or you're shooting events that can't be replicated. So you might find that a bit of a concern. I've never had any issues with the cards going corrupt over the last 3 or 4 years, and I've taken hundreds of photographs with this particular camera, never had an issue. I've taken it to loads of places. So yeah, functionality, great design. And also, if you're looking at getting into the Z mount system, this becomes really fantastic value for money, because if you buy this used from somewhere like MPB that give you a 6-month warranty, Wex Photographic give you a 12-month warranty, you can pick these up from like £600 plus, body only. So with a lens under £1,000, easily under £1,000. And you got yourself a fantastic full frame Z mount body, and I think it is great. I've also got the kit lens, a 24-50 compact kit lens. I bought this purely because it's so compact. So again, when you're going out and about and I want more than just a 28mm wide angle lens, this does the job nicely. I will leave some sample images on my Flickr page. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can take a look at them on Flickr. But if we have a quick look at them here, and I'd say I've taken them all over the place: Bournemouth, Portsmouth, Bath, Bristol. But the sharpness is lovely, the tonal range is lovely, and working with NEF files in programs like Lightroom or ON1 is great. You know, lovely sharpness. If you look here, again, this is where I used the Z6 on the underground, and I used a slow shutter speed. Because of the in-body image stabilization in the camera, you can use your slow shutter speeds to create some nice motion effects. So yeah, very you know, just really nice. Outdoors, really good. It handles dynamic range really good. So yeah, good sensor, good camera, and exceptional value for money if you want to get into, you know, the Nikon Z system. And I think I personally would very, you know, definitely recommend it. Fun to use because of its handling. It's a really nice handling camera, and I say with this grip alone just makes it really nice. You've got your buttons on off switch where you want it, so you can use it single-handedly. And what I do love about it, as far as a hybrid shooter is concerned, it's got a separate switch for switching between photo and video. So you just flick that switch down to video, switch it up to photo. Not most cameras, or a lot of cameras, have got it actually on the PASM dial. This one doesn't have it on the PASM dial. It's actually a separate switch, and I think that is great. And all the buttons are just so lovely laid out. Really good big buttons, really nicely laid out. So yeah, viewfinder's beautiful, really nice crisp sharp viewfinder. That is also great. I can't think of anything that I don't like about the Z6. I genuinely mean that. The autofocus is a little bit slower than the more modern cameras, but not slow enough that you can't use it. It's really usable, and you know, really great. It's got your display on the top, which shows you main information, shutter speed, ISO, battery indicator. Funny enough, I don't really use that a great deal. I thought it would be really useful. I actually don't use it a great deal at all. I wouldn't miss it if it wasn't there, let's put it that way. But yeah, really nice piece of kit. As I say, these photographs will be up on my Flickr page, as well as, you know, obviously, well, you can't really see them on the YouTube channel because I'm just flicking through them. But yeah, really nice camera. So there we go. I would highly recommend the Z6 if you're on a tight budget, or you want to get into the Z mount system, you want to play with it, see what it's like. I would love to play with a Nikon ZF. I haven't, as I say, I haven't pre-ordered it. I'm not going to. I feel that the ZF is just a retro styled camera on the outside, but obviously modern technology on the inside. But what I would really miss is the grip. And I know many people have said that, many reviewers have said that, because it's a traditional looking camera. You would miss the grip. Well, I would miss the grip. On here, the grip is phenomenal, absolutely fantastic. So there we go. That's the Nikon Z6 after 3 or 4 years. Don't forget to take a look at the images on my Flickr page. That would be fantastic. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of these videos. Would really appreciate that. Helps me grow the channel. So thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.